give a little bit of your love to me. I'll give a little bit. I'll give a little bit of my love to you. There's so much that we need to share, so send a smile to show you care. I'll give a little bit. I'll give a little bit of my life for you. So give a little bit. Give a little bit of your time to me. See the man with the lonely eyes. Oh, take his hand, you'll be surprised. Give a little bit. Give a little bit of your love to me. Give a little bit. I'll give a little bit of my life to you. Now's the time that we need to share. So find yourself. We're on our way back home. Oh, going home. Don't you need to feel at home? Oh yeah, we gotta sing. Such a long ride, come a long way, sing it tonight.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm really excited today. I'm actually probably going to be annoyingly excited today, and I don't even know why. I just feel good today. How is everyone? That is such a great response. Here, I'm going to move this so you don't have to look at me through a microphone. So great to have you all here with us this morning here at the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. My name is Jonathan Zenz, and I am the spiritual director here. I'm making Tony crazy because I'm moving a lot. Follow me, Tony, follow me. Like I say, I'm in a mood today, can you tell? It's great to have you here. I've got a couple of things to tell you about. First of all, we have in the, usually every February, the Spiritual Living Convention that used to be called the Leadership Convention, part of the Centers for Spiritual Living. The next one this coming February is actually going to be in Vancouver. There are postcards, these lovely little brochure-type postcards out in the lobby. If you're interested in going, this will tell you how to register for that. I'm going to be there. I believe Helen Vallot is going to be there, and anyone is welcome. It's not just for the leadership. They have great workshops, great speakers, and it's one of my favorite things to go and enjoy the conventions that this organization puts together. So take a look at that. Also, we've got classes continuing. We've got on Tuesday nights the Edinburgh Lectures of Thomas Troward. That's here at 7 o'clock. On Wednesday nights, we have the Science of Mind 100 series, the foundations, the principles of this philosophy is what we're looking at right now. We're about to finish our 8th week. And can you believe it's already been 8 weeks of class? It's gone by like that. And so that's continuing every Wednesday night here at 7. This Thursday, we have a Board of Directors meeting, Board of Trustees meeting. And anyone who's a member of the center, if you'd like to come and just hang out and check out the Board of Trustees and what they do. I say we, I'm not on the board. I just sit there and say, board, please do this. And they say, okay. It's not really like that. But if you'd like to come and see what the board does in support of this center, anyone is welcome to come to those meetings. And that's at this Thursday at 7:30. So for those of you who are in Mental Muscle, I will be booking right out of the room at the end of Mental Muscle to go down for the meeting, just to give you all a heads up. If you are new to our center, if you're here for the first time, we do have a mailing list. We encourage you to sign up for the mailing list. That's in the lobby as well. Okay, next Sunday, I have heard your messages. So last week I got up here and just off the top of my head I said, we're going to do the spiritual cinema, but I'm thinking about changing the movie. I'm not changing the movie. I got so much pushback to that. So next week we will be showing Spiritual Liberation, the Michael Beckwith film. And unfortunately our practitioner interns will be taking their written exam at the time. But we have a copy of it that belongs to the center now, so you can always come and watch it. Yeah, but we will be watching Spiritual Liberation next week. Please stick around after service, and that we're going to start the movie at 1 o'clock, and it's going to be a great, great time. I will not be up here because I have to go and help moderate the exam, but you're all, just stick around and watch the movie. Have a good time. Also, if you are interested in volunteering for our center, we have a tremendous group of volunteers, and we're still looking for people to help out with, well, in any number of areas. Are you still looking for people to help with the bookstore? The bookstore, we can always use people in the bookstore. We can use greeters and ushers and welcome people and people who can be here to do any number of things, including work on the technical aspects of the service and be social media ambassadors or work down with the kids. There are plenty of opportunities here, so we encourage you to sign up to be a volunteer. You can do that in the lobby or speak with Margaret Ann, who is our volunteer coordinator. So there's that. We have a comments box. If you have anything you want to say about the service, just please be nice. We also have a Spiritual Mind Treatment request box. Spiritual Mind Treatment is our form of affirmative prayer, and if there's something that is weighing heavily on your heart, fill out the form that's out there, put it into the box, and please know that one of our licensed, well, almost licensed practitioners, or me, will do the mental work that is required to turn that around for you. But know that when you fill out that form, you've already started the process. So healing is a done deal once you fill out the form. That's it. Those are the announcements. So welcome to the center. Welcome to anyone who's here for the first time. What a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Anyone over here for the first time? Second time? The person who just went to the washroom is here for the first time. I don't normally notice people when they stand up and walk out. We should all just wait. Well, it's such a pleasure to have you here. If you're being here for the first time, I'm so glad you've joined us. And it's what do we do here? What do we do here?
Laugh.
We laugh. We have a good time. We sing. We laugh. We dance. We do watch movies. We have classes. But on a Sunday morning, what are we doing here on a Sunday morning?
Celebrate.
We're celebrating. We're celebrating the Spirit. The Spirit. There's only one Spirit. That's what we're celebrating. We're celebrating the Spirit, that Spirit which is within. Because if there's only one, we can't be separate from the one. If we were separate from the one, then there would not be one. There would be more than one. And that's just not logically possible. So if there is only one, we are that which is. And so we're celebrating the Spirit of life that is flowing through us. And I do it in a very energetic way, apparently, this Sunday morning. I was so subdued last week, and this week I'm like bouncing off the walls. But that's what we do here. We celebrate Spirit. We celebrate the truth of who we are. We do that in any number of ways, and I'm mixing things up a little bit today, as I always do. I've already given the band fair warning. But let's go ahead and take a look on the inside front of our songbook under what we believe. And let's read these words together. These words are a statement. They're an affirmation. And they are, well, for those of you who are in Mental Muscle, here are some statements of resolution. If you are resolved in this belief, then your life can do nothing but unfold perfectly, easily, and effortlessly. So as you read this, make a determination. Are you resolved in the statements you're making? So let's read this together. I believe that the spiritual and material universe are one. I believe that whether I call it God, spirit, energy, or universal consciousness, every person, place, and thing emanates from this one creative source. I believe that spirit is an infinite, loving intelligence operating in and through all life, never separate from anyone or anything. I believe in cause and effect. I believe that it is done unto me as I believe, and as I think, so I become. I live this now, and I rejoice in it. And so it is. And so it is. I believe that whether I call it God, spirit, energy, universal consciousness, the one power, the one source, the one truth, whatever you call it, light, life, love, it's one thing. And it is what is the animating force behind your entire existence. So let's delve a little bit deeper into that. I'm going to invite Helen Valo, who is our practitioner of the day. She's going to give you a little bit of wisdom.
Good morning. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
So this morning when I came in, Jonathan said, "Do you have a quote for today?" And I said, "No, but I'll find one." And so I went to Living the Science of Mind. I found this passage and I went, ooh. Oh, thank you, Spirit. So, here it is. You must believe in the healing presence within you and within all people. And then you must speak your word in such a way that this healing presence may, as it flows through that word, perform the miracle of life, which is the giving, should have brought my glasses, which is the giving form to the invisible. Giving form to the invisible. The miracle. And okay, that's very, very appropriate for me. Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you. So if you'll stay there, take what she's just read and let it resonate with you in this moment. There is a guiding principle within you. There is a power within you that is always giving form to that which seems invisible. The truth is it's not invisible. The truth is it's only invisible to our limited eyesight, but it's there. It's there. And it is always operating constructively for a higher purpose, for your good. That's what it's doing. So as we share in this chant, one people is the chant. This is one that's not in the songbook yet, so don't look for it. Just simply, you'll get it. Simply relax in this moment. If it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, you can do so. And allow this energy, allow the energy of the music to flow through you. Allow this energy of life, of love, of harmony, of peace to simply resonate and flow through you right here and right now.
One people living on one planet, joining in one family, we all are one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family, we all are one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family, we all are one.
Right here, right now, I declare our oneness. This oneness of spirit, this oneness of the divine power and presence of spirit that shows up everywhere. It is back of all creation. It is this loving energy that is within me right here, right now. And I see the oneness in all that I experience. I know that in my mind, if I can conceive this oneness and I truly believe it, it's already done. And this is when miracles happen. I know that I am an embodiment of the divine power and presence of God. And for this, I am truly, truly grateful for this first cause, the absolute, the power and presence of oneness, of unity, of peace, of wisdom, of love and truth is always expressing, always creating. And I, in this moment, declare that this is my truth right here, right now. This is what I see, this is what I speak, because this is what I know to be true. There is only one divine power and presence of love, light, and spirit. It is omniactive. It is the thing itself. It is the energy of all creation. And for this knowing, for this experiencing, and this embodying of love, light, and truth, oneness, I am grateful, for I know it is all done. It is all done in mind. So I release these words to the law of mind, and knowing all I need to do now is let it go. Let it be so. Thank you. And together we say, and so it is.
One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We all are one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We all are one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We all are one. We all are one. We all are one.
Indeed, we all are one. So, continuing this flow, and to concretize this a little bit more deeply, I'm going to invite our reader of the day, Judy Southern, up to the microphone. I will leave this here, and I will make an adjustment for you. Here. And
Oh, that's short.
I was waiting for you so that I could get the correct.
Jonathan just bounded right into this reading. Wait till you hear the second paragraph. This is written by Reverend Bob Lucken. Again, it's from the Science of Mind magazine from August, and it's called A Wave in the Ocean of God. If you feed your mind a diet of fear and resentment, how well will you be able to manage to live with spiritual indigestion? So Reverend Bob goes on to talk about two conversations that he heard, two very different conversations. And he says, I overheard some conversations the other day, and you have probably heard similar conversations. What happens to me is not my fault. I'm not a happy person, but who is? I can't stand most people. I don't like judgmental people or people who have to be right. I have very little tolerance for people who complain, so don't start. It's really hard to find people I can trust, and it doesn't surprise me, as most people can't be trusted. Everyone I meet is selfish and self-absorbed. They say pessimism has reached epidemic levels. I think pessimistic people are just being realistic. And then he heard a different conversation. I met one of those so-called spiritual people yesterday. Well, what a trip. This guy acted like the world was a wonderful place to live in, and that living life was a very special privilege. I could not help wondering what rock he had climbed out from under. Does that sound like someone we know? Imagine someone sitting across from you telling you that God is love and that the evidence of God is also love and that love can be seen, felt, and experienced everywhere. Imagine anyone thinking that we are all valuable and that there are no extra people, that people are like waves in an ocean of God, all connected, all special. Well, all I can say is be careful who you talk to. Maybe I'm a little bit crazy, but that guy was really interesting. Maybe there was something to what he said. And the message at the bottom of that page, the affirmation was, let your love of life be a gift you give to yourself.
Mm. That was perfect. Thank you very much, Judy. Thank you. You know, I love when everything aligns perfectly. It's such a good feeling, such a good feeling. The song today, our special song, our featured song today, is one that you've heard me sing before. And then I've had a music director who's been saying, will you please sing this song again? I said, sure, anytime, whenever we can work it out. And then last week I said, we're singing this song next week. So today, in a reflective way, I'm going to... So sometimes I do the song, and then we do the talk, and I say, now we're going to do the song again, so reflect on the song again. We're not going to do that today, unless I feel like it, so be prepared. We may do the song twice. I don't know. I am such a off-the-wall kind of guy today. What I'm going to ask you to do is simply relax into the moment and just hear the song. Just hear the song. Just hear it. That's all you need to do. Just hear it.
Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray reaching for the day. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. We may not reach the ending, but we can start slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now, we'll start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but finally a city of men.
a city of man. Thank you. So I have this weird thing in my brain. It's this consideration that I have that it's ridiculous, but it's a consideration that I have. So in my training to be a minister, I watched, and I don't even know where this is going because this is not even a part of my talk, but I watched my mentor, who is he was a Broadway guy. He did the thing. He was an actor for most of his life, and then he became a minister. I was an actor most of my life, then I became a minister. But he doesn't sing a lot during service. I mean, he sings the regular songs, but he doesn't do special music a lot. In fact, I don't know that I've ever heard him do the special music. So there's this part of me that thinks, wow, is it really indulgent for me to be the special music of the day? No, and I'm going to claim that it's not indulgent for me to be special music of the day. But it's just weird because I have this consideration oh, maybe it's just too many, maybe it's too much me, that we need to have more people up here and have different, voices come up here. And I'm open to that, by the way. I am open to that. I'm open to that. And then it's a reminder to myself. As I have that moment, it's a reminder to myself to just be where I am. To not worry about what I did in my training, to not worry about what my ministry is going to be, but just be right where I am. This goes right in line with the post I put on Facebook today. Or not today, yes, 2 days. I put a post on Facebook sometime in the past, and it was a graphic, and I actually made a whole bunch of copies, so I'm going to just take one and pass it around. And it's just a reminder, and it's a little piece of paper that you can put in your pocket, you can put it in your purse, you can put it wherever, and then just notice it. Just notice it, because it's a reminder that I need to give myself sometimes. And what it is it's a timeline. 2 arrows on either end. One side says the past, one side says the future. Right in the middle is a dot that says now, the only place you need to be. The only place you ever need to be is right here in the moment. A lot of us bring our past to the moment, or we allow the future to be in the moment. When we're bringing the past, oftentimes it's a regretful past. We're living in regret. Now, we can enjoy and celebrate the past, absolutely. Or we can have anxiety about the future, or trust that our future is unfolding perfectly, so we don't need to worry about it. Anxiety is just worry. But the great news is if you are truly present right here in the moment, everything is working out exactly as it needs to. Exactly as it needs to. And if that's the truth, here's the big question. Here's the big question. What is it going to take for us to embody this? I get up here every Sunday and I say something not dissimilar to this message. Be present. You are God. There's only one thing happening, so let it happen. Let it be constructive in your life. Let it flow forth in your life. That's all I'm ever talking about. I just find different ways of saying it. It's funny, I was reviewing some of the videos of some of the old talks that I've given since I've been here, and it's fascinating to watch how me, and back in January, if you watch that video, that first Sunday in January, I'm a very different person now. I'm a very different person now. I was so first of all, I was really excited. It's my first pulpit. Really excited. And it kind of kept my head in the clouds a little bit because I was living the excitement, which was fine, but now I feel grounded. I feel grounded in my spiritual practice. I feel much more solid in terms of what I'm doing and what I'm saying up here. The other thing that I do now, I don't rely on notes quite so much because I allow Spirit to flow through me. I allow whatever needs to be said, because that's the most important thing. If I am allowing the intuitive nature of Spirit to come through me, and I'm not saying that I'm the only one who can do this, by the way. Everybody can do this. Everybody can do this. If you allow the intuitive nature of spirit to flow through you, you cannot lose, ever. Now, I might say something that sounds a little off. Big deal. It's in the past. It's no longer in the present, isn't it? Huh? See? See how that works? Even the song I sang not 5 minutes ago, in the past, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What is it going to take? What is it going to take for us to embody this? So here's my question. Here's another question. Is your life, now, it's a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer. Because I could just imagine that one person putting their hand up when I say, so is your life falling apart around your ears? So see, I heard some yeses. Why? Why does your life seemingly fall apart around your ears? You know, I've had this experience. My life has fallen apart in the past. But I've engaged and I've embodied a spiritual practice that helps me not to allow it to fall apart in my present. But the most important thing is that I stay present. I stay in this moment. I stay right here, right now, grounded, solid, with the understanding of truth, with the understanding that God is all there is. And if that's the truth, then that's who I am. And I'm always, always available to allow that to flow through me so that my life does unfold constructively. Now, if you think your life is falling apart, think about where you are right now. Is your life truly falling apart right now? Right in this moment? You're not allowed to think about what happened in the past. You're not allowed to think about what might be coming up in the future. Right now, what is your life? What is happening in your life right now? Because ultimately, it's all about perception. It's all about perception. We only have a perception that our life is falling apart. It's not true. If your life were truly falling apart, which it cannot do because there's one life, that life is God's life, that life is perfect, and it is your life and my life right now. God cannot fall apart. That life is perfect. It is your life and it is my life right now. So when things around us seem to be falling apart, it is our perception that things are falling apart. And then we have a reaction to that. Well, once something has fallen apart, it's in the past. It's done. What are you going to do right now to start building it up again? And you have the capacity within yourself to build it up again very easily. And today I'm going to tell you how to build it up again. Finally, some practical stuff you can use. It's going to be the same stuff I say every week, though. It's just maybe this week you'll hear it. So I've sung this song before, right? I've sung this song before. I love this song. I actually, I'm not a huge fan of the musical that it comes from when I see the musical produced. I've not really enjoyed sitting through the musical, but I love the music from the musical, and this song in particular, Beautiful City. It's from a musical called Godspell. It is based on the gospel, and that is a song that Jesus sings. But it's such a great reminder. It's such a great reminder. The song starts off, out of the ruins and rubble. Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? Can we see a ray of hope? One pale, thin ray reaching for the day. So this goes right in line with what I've been talking about. Ruins, rubble, smoke, a night of struggle. That's all in the past. What's happening right now? Do you see that ray? Do you see that ray of hope? Do you know where that ray is coming from? It's not coming from outside. It's not light shining down upon you. It is the light which you are emanating. That ray comes from within. You are the light. And you can cast off the shadows around you. It's who and what you are. The big question is, can you see it? Can you see it? Because if you cannot see it, you cannot embody it. So today, Step one. There may be only one step. Step one, because I didn't write down any steps. I'm like, wow, that just came to me. Step one. And actually, it's funny. It's the exact same step as the first step of treatment. Well, it's step 1 and 2. First step, recognize that you are the light. That's steps 1 and 2 of treatment. Recognize that you are the light. You are God. You are spirit. You are the creative force of the universe. You are the vital energy of the universe. You are that which is. Can you see it? Can you see it? How brightly is it shining? Because if you're not embodying it, you may be holding it back. Wow, I'm all of a sudden going to another parable from the Bible. If your light is under a bushel, it can't be seen. Is your light under a bushel? A light on a hill can be seen. Don't put your light under a bushel. It's so funny, I so rarely go to the Bible. That light is coming through you. That's the big deal. And it is a big deal. It is not something outside of you shining goodness upon you. It is you shining goodness upon the world. What does it take? What is it going to take for you to truly accept and embody this idea that you are the light? You are the light. Next part of that, though, is, are you looking for proof of the light before you allow it to shine forth? Are you looking for proof that the light is there? Needing proof that the light is there, and I'm not saying this is for everyone, it may lead you to the place of living in hope. It may lead you to the place of assuming that things could possibly go wrong. If you live in the place where you need proof of the light, how is the light going to be proven to you? How is the light going to be proven to you? If you're living in hope, you're living in expectation. What happens when you're living in expectation? You're living in expectation that the light may be someday, that my life, oh, it sucks right now, but someday it may get better. A lot of us live within that paradigm. A lot of us live with that idea. When you're hoping for what is to be, where are you on that timeline? You're in the future. You're no longer in the now. You're no longer in the now. So, step back. Take a moment. Take a breath. Recognize that right where you are, the light is shining forth. You don't need proof that the light exists. As long as you're in the future, as long as you're looking for it, here's the way the law works. The law is very specific. The law of cause and effect works this way. It is done unto you as you believe. It's very, very much a Jesus talk today. It is done unto you as you believe, right in this moment. So, if you are looking for the light, if you are looking ahead, if you're looking into the future for the light, the law is saying, great, I'm always going to put the light outside. I'm always going to put it in the future because it is done unto you as you believe. If you do not believe that the light is present within you right here and right now, flowing forth from you, you will always be searching for it. It'll always be just down the road. Why not live right here and right now? In the understanding and the knowing and the deep, deep embodiment of you are the light. We should have done that song. All of a sudden I'm like, we should have done that song, but we won't. We'll do that next week. That is the future. I can still make plans for the future, as long as I'm not so rigid that I don't open myself up to greater possibility. The effect of the law is that if you send your good some other place, it will always be some other place. That's the way it works. So are you ready to accept your good right here and right now? Are you ready to accept your good right here and right now, which is not the right here and right now I spoke about 30 seconds ago? That's how fast it is. That's how quickly time goes. Time is just a construct of our own minds, too. I'm not going there. If you want to hear about that, come to class, because we talk about it a lot, especially in the Troward class. But there is no such thing as time. We make it up so that we can have a construct for our experience. But right now is the only thing that exists. Right here, right now. Is the light shining forth from you right now. And now. And now. And now. The light is based in this thing that I will call faith. And today is sort of a development of, it's sort of a talk about how do you develop faith in your life? Can you develop faith in your life? Now, Ernest Holmes writes, in order to have faith, we must have a conviction that all is well. In order to have faith, we must have a conviction that all is well. Is all well? Do you have that conviction? See, the yes on the conviction part was a little less... You must have conviction that all is well. Now, here's what can happen. And I've seen this happen within this philosophy. I've seen, do I dare say this term? There are people within this philosophy who get a little airy-fairy about it. They're like, oh, everything's perfect. Everything is working out exactly as it needs to. Life is so good. Life is great. And it's great if it's working for them, but I've also seen people who are having this experience and their life is falling apart around them. But they keep staying in this place of life is flowing perfectly and easily. That was last week's talk. Life is so good. And life is good. But it's also, what's the word I'm looking for? I am a pragmatic spiritualist. I am a pragmatic spiritualist. It's great. If life is good, great. But if life is really good and your life is falling apart around you, be a little more pragmatic about it. Put this stuff to work in your life because you have the capacity to do it. But it's about living in that conviction, first and foremost, living in the conviction that all is well, not just some vague idea that all is well. That's where you have to be in order to have faith. Just trust that all is well. Now, that's the foundation. See, there's the talk title. A solid foundation. There is the foundation. A conviction that all is well, right here, right now. Sorry, I'm getting a little loud. Then there's this, so now I'm going to go to the past, because one of the things that I'm looking forward to is the day we have a big stage. Because if you haven't seen me unleashed yet, because I feel like I've got to keep it contained here, right? Got to keep it contained, because if I get too much, then you'll all run screaming from the building. A solid conviction that all is well. That is the foundation of good living. That is the foundation of a perfectly orchestrated life that is always working for your highest good no matter what. But it is a conviction. What does conviction mean? It means that you are so solid that there is no possibility of being knocked off course, that you can only move forward, that you can never fall, that you can never falter. This is what conviction is all about. And it is the foundation. The rest, now here's the thing. If you are approaching life with this conviction, and that is where you start to have faith, how do you keep faith? How do you keep faith? Because having the faith is the conviction. Having the faith is the conviction. How do you keep faith? This is how you keep faith. Ernest Holmes writes, in order to keep faith, see how I worked that all in order to keep faith, we must allow nothing to enter our thought which will weaken this conviction. The conviction that all is well is what we must live within to have faith. In order to keep it, you must constantly be on high watch in your own mind and in your own experience to ensure that nothing knocks you off of that conviction. Nothing. Nothing. How many of us are easily knocked off of that conviction? We've all experienced it. And, I've had that experience. It can happen. At what point do you make the decision, and it is your decision? I'm doing that Michael Beckwith thing. It's your decision. It is your decision to decide in the moment, to make that choice that there is nothing that will knock you off of your path. The problem comes when we start looking at the world. How easily we can be knocked off of our path by looking over there. And it works both ways. By looking over there and saying, oh, everything is falling apart over there. I guess my life must be falling apart too. Law says, yes, your life is falling apart. That fast. Look over there. Look how great their life is. I can't live up to that. The law is saying, you're right, you can't. So be very, very cognizant of what is happening in your mind at all times. Because it does. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that if we all got on track with this level of conviction in our lives, none of us would need to be here. Now, this is one tool, right? Remember I said I was going to get practical. Being here on a Sunday is one tool for keeping your life on track in the conviction that all is well. It's just one tool. One. It's a reminder. It's a celebration of that truth. It is a celebration of the one truth. If there's one truth, if there's one thing going on, like I said earlier, you are that thing. You cannot be knocked off course. So in order to keep faith, the tools at hand for keeping faith are whatever you are doing to engage in spiritual practice. Now, part of the reason that I don't get practical up here about that is because I can't begin to tell you what's going to keep you in that place. I can give you tools that we teach within this philosophy. And there are three main ones. We teach meditation, we teach affirmation, we teach spiritual mind treatment. Those are the three things that we really, really focus on in classes in terms of ways of, it's so funny, I almost said tricking your mind, but it's not tricking your mind. It's ways of aligning your mind at all times with the truth. Meditation, affirmation, spiritual mind treatment. And for those of you who are new, I don't know what your background is with this philosophy. Spiritual mind treatment is just prayer. It's affirmative prayer. But it's based on the principle and the understanding that there's a law of cause and effect at play, and as you think, so you become. So we constructively use this thing we call spiritual mind treatment to put our mind upon the right track. And when we put our mind on the right track, then we start to live within that conviction that all is well. All is well. We rely on reapplying the principle at all times. Now, I would like to say that my life is unfolding perfectly at all times. Have I had struggles this year? Yes. Shocking. The minister has struggles, but he's the one that we're supposed to, look up to, and he's the great example. Not really. I mean, that's my goal, to live as an example of this teaching, because here's the truth. When I've experienced struggle in my life, I don't go start blaming people. I don't start blaming the circumstances. I start looking within and saying, what have I done to create this? And not in the way of, what have I done to create this? I'm so distraught now. No, it is in the understanding that when I understand that I created it, then I can then recreate it. I can recreate my life. Now, notice I did not say uncreate it. How can you uncreate? Have you ever even heard the term uncreate it? No, and I'm not destroying what has been. I'm making a new choice, a new conscious choice right here to step it up and to say, I don't require that experience any longer in my life. I do not require that experience any longer in my life. A couple of ways that this has worked out this year. Right at the beginning of summer, I just had a tight, my finances got a little tight. Personally, my personal finances got a little tight. And I came to the understanding and I stepped into the spiritual conviction that all is well. I do not require the experience of tight finances. I did the mental work that was required to step above that, and now everything is flowing. Are you ready to do that? Okay, I guess you're not. Because that's one of the things I hear a lot. A lot of people have issues with finances. A lot of people come to this philosophy because of issues with finances. Because one of the things we teach, one of the basic principles we teach is that God is abundance. Prosperity is your birthright. It is who and what you are. So why aren't you experiencing it? If you're not experiencing it. And I'm saying everybody here is experiencing abundance, whether you're conscious of it or not. But are you experiencing financial prosperity in your life? You don't have to raise your hands. The truth is, your financial prosperity comes from no other place other than spirit. It does not come from your job. Hear me. Financial prosperity does not come from your job. Your job might be a tool to help support your financial prosperity, but financial prosperity comes from one place and one place only. It's so funny, I didn't expect to talk about finances today, but here we are. Financial prosperity comes from one place and one place only. It comes from your conviction that the world is abundant. Just look around you. This room is full of abundance. When you start to recognize abundance in all things, then abundance is going to start happening in your pocketbook. I know that's an American term. I got nailed on that a couple weeks ago. The other thing is, I've been standing up here week after week, and it's actually come up a lot recently, and maybe it's because I needed the reminder to keep myself in that spiritual conviction, to keep myself on track. I know I'm speaking really quickly now. But here I am. I've been standing up here every week, and I say, I never get a cold. I never get sick anymore. I don't have a cold, by the way. Do I sound stuffed up?
No, I was just thinking when you said that, sometimes that...
Yeah, because here's what a lot of people do, right? Oh, I get a cold every December. How many?
The flu shot.
I need the flu shot. It's like clockwork. Every year I experience the same thing. So what have I just taught you about the law? The law says, yes, every year you experience the same thing. The law does not, the law doesn't have any discernment. The law does not have discernment. It just does what you put into it, no matter what. So if you've made the decision in your life, oh, I get sick every December, or, oh, I require a flu shot, then it will be. That's why at the end of every spiritual mind treatment, we say, and so it is. Because it is, no matter what. The law does its thing. So here's what happens, right? I get a little off track. I admitted this in class this week on Wednesday night. I started to feel a little under the weather this week. And I had to step back and say, wait a second. I have been getting up every single week for the past month, at least a month, saying I never get sick. Am I going to live up to my word? Or am I going to allow something else to happen? So what do? What do you think I did? I treated. Because where does creation begin? Creation begins in mind. It begins in mind. So if I want to experience something else, I don't immediately run to my medicine cabinet and say, oh, look, there's the medicine. No, the first place I go is spiritual mind treatment. The first place I go is to start to embody the understanding that I am the expression of health no matter what. I do not require the experience of having a cold. This is the work that I have done. Now, this is, again, to keep faith, we must allow nothing to enter which will knock us off of the conviction that all is well. So if you start to get knocked off, you must realign yourself, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Remember, too, we teach meditation, affirmation, spiritual mind treatment But I've also stood up here and I've said, technique is anything that works. Anything that works. Remind me of that, because I have something else to say about that. Remind me of that, because, this is a conversation. But it is a constant, we must be on high watch at all times. It is a constant practice. Just like a building needs attention and care. We are the building built on that solid foundation of spirit. We are that building. We have to be aware of the cracks when they start to show up. And it is up to us to ensure that we repair those cracks. Because if you let them go for too long, what happens? The building crumbles. Because the cracks get worse and worse and worse. Sometimes the cracks are easy to see. Sometimes they're not. But you must be on high watch at all times for what cracks are showing up in your life. So I'm going to go back, because I do want to say this thing that I said about technique is anything that works. So I've talked about this a couple times. There's this ministers listserv, right? And all the ministers have these conversations. We're all putting emails in that come from all over the world. And one of the things that's come up recently, and I admittedly have not read too much into it, because I read a couple emails, I'm like, oh, you all need to just get a clue. That's how I feel about some ministers sometimes. Get a clue. But here's the basic gist of it. So they're talking about a spiritual practice that works, that is not really a part of our philosophy. It's something that we actually teach practitioners not to do. And it was something about the laying of hands upon someone to help them heal. We don't teach that. We do not teach that. In fact, we tell our practitioners when they're going through their training, we tell our ministers when they're going through their training, do not lay hands upon anyone, with the understanding that if everything starts in mind, the laying of hands actually doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make anything more powerful. However, this is then what I will also then tell all of my practitioner students, and I'm maybe a little bit of a rebel, but I was trained by a rebel, so... Oh, my mind is going so many places. So here, but I want to clarify this thought. What I tell the practitioner is if somebody asks you to hold their hand or lay your hands upon them, I would say, do it. Do it. Now, not in an inappropriate way, obviously. But if somebody wants you to hold their hand during spiritual mind treatment, I will happily hold somebody's hand during spiritual mind treatment if they ask for it. Why? Why do you think I would do that? Here's the reason why. Because whatever makes them receptive to changing their own mind, and if my holding their hand puts them in a more receptive place to hearing the words that I'm speaking, that will have more effect on them. Now, I might hold their hand and then say, just so you're aware, I mean, depends on how I'm feeling in the moment. I might say, just so you're aware, this does not make it more powerful, but if it puts you in a more receptive place, absolutely. But there's been this thing about, on the listserv of these ministers who are saying, well, it's been really powerful for me to go and have people lay their hands upon me when I've done this other spiritual practice that I'm exploring, you know, as a way of getting to know about spirit. And other ministers are saying, oh, no, we don't do that. How rigid are we going to be? Remember I did a talk called God in a Box? How much are we putting God into a box when we do that? So again, technique is anything that works. What works for you to realign your mind onto that road of the higher calling? In order to keep faith, we must allow nothing to enter our thought which will weaken this conviction. If it means that you require having hands laid upon you, have at it. Have at it. Just understand that that's simply putting your mind into a more receptive place. Faith is an active thing, not passive. It is not passive. It is active. That's why we are engaged in a thing called spiritual practice, because it is active. Practice indicates that we are working at it, that we're making it happen in our lives. Practice. It's not called spiritual mastery. Spiritual practice. If it was spiritual mastery, we could be passive in it. Now, when you reach that level of enlightenment, come talk to me, because I want you to teach me. So what are you doing in your own life to keep in faith? What are you doing in your own life to keep on track? And I don't want you to be confused, because here's the other place that people will go to. I got to just stay active, just to keep myself on track, when what's really going on in their mind is, oh, my life is falling apart around me. But if I stay active, it's going to work out okay, right? What's the belief? What's the belief there? So when I talk about staying active and keeping in spiritual practice, it is not about staying busy or doing busy work. It means active conviction in mind. Being active in your own mind, putting your own mind back on track at all times. This activity is a mental activity. It is not a physical activity. Now, there are physical things that may help you. For instance, for a long time, I was engaged in yoga practice. For me, that was a way of doing something physical that would help me align my mind, but I understood the connection there for myself. But it is not a physical thing. One of the quotes of Ernest Holmes, the creative power of the universe does not need to be urged or forced into action. There is nothing we need to do to force God to do its thing. Its nature is to act creatively upon the images of thought we impress upon it. If you think it, if you believe it, it will be. But it goes to the level of conviction. How deep is your faith? And how do you keep on track? So finally, the most important foundation upon which all of this rests is one idea. One idea. We teach one foundational principle. The foundation for correct mental treatment, the foundation for a life well lived, the foundation for your life unfolding perfectly before you is this: perfect God, perfect man, perfect being. Perfect God, perfect man, perfect being. Perfect God, being, perfect man. Being is a verb, to be. When we say perfect being, might be better to say perfect beingness. Be perfect God. Because you already are, no matter what. And that's my message for you today. Namaste. So we've come to that time in the service where we do our offering. And as we pass the baskets today, is there anything I want to tell you that I don't normally tell you? Probably not. Just as a reminder, because I like to have the reminder. It's part of a spiritual practice, the reminder that what you hold in your hand, what it is you offer, what you hold in your hand is God. Remember, if there is only God, and it is infinite, then there can be nothing separate from it. So this popsicle stick that says, laugh, imagine. This is a representation of something greater at work. This is a representation of the perfect flow of abundance in your life. As you give, so you receive, and this is what we celebrate by giving to this spiritual center. One of the principles of giving that I like to remind people of is, for me, it is most important for me to give where I am spiritually fed, which is why a lot of my giving comes to this center, because this center spiritually feeds me. It is also the foundation on which we make our decisions for giving on the board. Now, why this is important is because sometimes we give to places that are not registered charities. Would that shock you that we do that? the last decision we made was actually to send a donation to my mentor, Reverend James Mellon, because of what he has done for me and what you may not even realize he's done for this center in terms of his support for this center in consciousness. So we gave a portion of our contribution, what came to us, to him, because he has supported us in spirit. He has supported us. And so that's the concept of giving. Give to where you are spiritually fed. So as the basket goes around, please celebrate this idea. Please celebrate that you have, and that as you have the understanding of having, you will have more. That's the truth. So come on in and stand up, and we're going to sing. We're going to sing I Love, which is probably clipped to the front of your songbook. This beautiful song that was written by Pierre.
I live, I breathe, I give, I receive, I laugh, I love, I'm a part of what's here, what has been, what's still to be seen. I live, I breathe, I love, love, love. I live, I breathe, I love. I live, I breathe, I give, I receive, I laugh, I love. I'm a part of what's here, what has been, what's still to be seen. I live, I breathe, I love, love, love. I live, I breathe, I love. I live, I breathe, I love.
And I'll invite Helen Vallot to do a blessing over the offering.
Come on up. Oh, with an open, grateful heart, I say thank you. Thank you for this currency, the currency of giving and receiving, the currency, the energy of love, light, spirit, God that is everywhere present. Knowing that all that is received today is received in gratitude. It is honored, cherished, respected, and used for the highest and best good of this center, of the community, and the world at large. And nothing can be better than being of service. Thank you. I release these constructive words to the law, knowing that all is well, that this abundance grows, expands into something that is bigger than all of us. I let it go. I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you so much, Helen. So I also want to honor the wisdom of the Board of Trustees of this center, who, when they meet this week, I know use these funds with a deep conviction of where they have come from, and that they use them well, and that's what I trust. We have a tremendous Board of Trustees with this center, and I am so grateful to every single one of them. I'm also grateful to everyone who has participated to make this service brilliant today. Lisa, thank you for setting up today. I want to thank our greeter, who is Gail. Judy, brilliant reading, perfect, always perfect. In the bookstore, Margaret Ann, our practitioner of the day, Helen Vallot. Board members, Susan, And Jim, who's already gone downstairs, I'm like, where's Jim? He's already downstairs. Susan and Jim, Steve in the sound booth, and our whole band, Pierre and Aaron and Tanis and Patrick and Brian and Rudy. I'm like, it's those guys over there. It's
And Steve's playing guitar.
And Steve's playing guitar from the booth. Yes. Didn't even know, did you? You heard 3 guitars. You're like, but there are only 2 up there. I'm sure that was what you were all thinking. I hear 3 guitars. Do we have any kids today? No.
But we get to thank Mahala.
But we get to thank Mahala and Mark because they were here. And they got to be in service today, which is also great. Tony, thank you so much for making sure that we go out to the world via our webcast. And I want to thank every single one of you for being here. I want to thank everyone who's online because it is your consciousness that builds this center, not mine. It is your alignment with the truth that builds this center, not mine. I'm just here to be part of that spiritual practice and be a reminder to you of who you are. That's what I'm always, always striving to do. So let's take what we've learned here today. Let's take what we've heard here today. Recognize how it resonates with us in this moment. I'm going to switch over to this microphone. One of the most important things for me in my practice is to come to that place of alignment, of being in the now. A lot of times it's about simply being still, simply being present, simply being. Because the foundation is perfect God, perfect man, perfect being. And so I choose today to be the perfect embodiment of the divine. So if it's comfortable, if you'd like to close your eyes as we go into this final chant, you're welcome to do so. Just simply allow what you've heard today to resonate. Recognize how it works in your life. For it is working in your life, no matter what.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
Right here in this moment, I recognize the one power. I recognize the one infinite intelligence. I recognize the one vital essence that is omnipresent. I recognize that God is here, right now. The divine spirit is fully expressing right here, right now. It is the truth of each and every one of us. We are each perfect, individualized expressions of this divine energy, and this is a good thing. I revel in this understanding. I revel in this knowledge that we are each expressing as God. I recognize and know and unify and grow. This is the truth right here, right now. And so with this understanding, with this conviction, with this deep faith, I simply let go of any attachment I may have to what is to be. I let go and trust that my life unfolds perfectly. I trust that the lives of every single person here are unfolding perfectly. I claim a greater expression of abundance. I claim greater love. I claim greater creative expression for each and every one of us. I claim more profound relationships for each and every one of us. This is the truth of who we are. I claim this in this moment, and I know that this is what carries me through the day, and I trust that this carries each and every one of us through our days, the deeper knowledge and conviction that this is always at hand, no matter what. I claim this right here, right now. I know it is so. And with a grateful heart, I simply give over to it. I give over to the perfect expression of God in all things, knowing that it shows up. It always shows up. Perfectly, easily, effortlessly. I simply step out of the way, releasing this word to a perfectly corresponding law. I know it is complete. And it shows up in demonstration. This is the truth, and I let this be the truth as I release this word. I know it is so, as together we say, and so it is. Sing together, be still and know that I am God.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know that you are. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know.
Be still and know that we are God.
Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know that we are. Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know.
Let's sing that one more time.
Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know that we are. Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know.
This is the truth of your life, and so it is. So let's take this celebration and let's kick it out into the street. We're going to sing, I release, and I let go. Which number is that?
16.
Number 16 in your songbooks if you want to sing along.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself.
That's sad.
I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient.
But it is.
Didn't know the love of God was at hand.
What are you going to tell us now?
But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day,
What are you going to do?
you've gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Have a great week, everyone.